This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Yeah, if I ever heard enunciating like that in the last 10 years, holy cow. And in fact, that's what this is. This is an anniversary special. Well, specials, because we're going to be doing more than one of them. How are you doing, Jason? This is the 10th year we've been doing this crap. No one has complained or shut us down, so that must mean something good.
Yeah, we must have been doing something right after all this time, John.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, this is like our 10th anniversary, podcast and all. So it's like we are thrilled to have been going on for this long. And John, you're thrilled to have doing this for this long, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And anyone that's been listening to us, hey, drop us a line. And 10 years, that's a long time. There's podcasts that, actually, we started a long time ago. We actually had 3 podcasts, and then we had 2, and then we had this one. So it stood the test of time because of the amazing amount of material that you have in your collection. And that is great. And the stuff that it's not just stuff you have in your collection, but stuff that you've been reading, let's be fair. There's stuff out there that you've been, you've introduced a lot of the fans to. And of course, there's always been the whole, we're not just here on the, we're doing the Japanese comics. We're doing the manga, man. So that's kind of a goal thing as well. And you've covered a lot of great manga titles,
Yeah, it's like American, Japanese. Like I tried to cover like all comics, regardless of where they come from. It's American, Japanese, Europe, whatever, man. It's like, and but for this like anniversary podcast for our 10th, thing. Like, and I realized we're like kind of fudging the dates here as far as exactness, but just like we're going back to the very first one. It's like like way back in June of 2018, and like the very first one we did, I talked about like the Aliens Omnibus Volume 2 from Dark Horse. Now, here's the thing. It's like Dark Horse, it's like has survived all these years by finding like all sorts of interesting stuff to license, whether it's what's the original stuff from Boris's Bear to it's like geez, it's like I lost my train of thought from Boris's Bear, because I remember like hearing about how Boris's Bear is like one of the most interesting like titles they got from the beginning, but from Brian Wood's it's like it's like chip series. It's like, and there you go. And I'm sure the Massive. It's like from stuff like the Massive, like, and there you go. But also it's like it's like stuff like Predator and Aliens and Buffy. It's like, and Star Wars, which is no longer at Dark Horse, but also like Terminator and whatnot. But Dark Horse has managed Dark Horse back in the 80s basically elevated the art of the licensed comic. From just like churning out stuff like some stuff on a monthly basis that to just doing like series of miniseries of stuff, and they did it pretty great over the years. But with Aliens was one of their original hits, and back in our very first podcast back in let's see, what was it? June of 2008. It's like I talked about it's like the reprints, one of the reprints of that stuff, like of the volume 2 of the Aliens Omnibus. But to be honest, the really compelling stuff starts at volume 1, and it all starts with the first volume of this stuff, Outbreak, or Aliens Book 1 if you're really old school, because Aliens Book 1 was essentially a sequel to like the film of the same name. Now now in the decades that have passed since its release, Aliens has achieved a basically a legendary reputation. It's like of it's like a it's like of the kind of like the action film is basically it's like, hey, this is how you do a proper like sci-fi genre sequel. And when Dark Horse acquired the rights to produce Aliens comics, they were in a position to produce like sequels to the Aliens as a movie. And it's like they lucked out in the sense that they got a guy named Mark Verheiden to to write these sequels. Now, I'd say like Mark Verheiden. No, he's not a household name, but to a certain audience, you might go, "Hey, I know that name." In fact, it's like I think if John, I think if Sebastian were here, he might go, "Wait a second, I know that guy. I might have seen him in the credits to Battlestar Galactica."
The old Battlestar Galactica?
The new Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, that's even better. Because,
yes.
The old one is... anyway.
Yes, but Verheiden, it's like, is a guy who was writing for the LA Times back in the late 80s and had was doing a series, The American, for Dark Horse at the same time as well. And it's like, and then when Dark Horse got the rights to do an Aliens follow up, like they said, hey, you know what? Like, you're pretty talented. Why don't we give you the rights to do an Aliens follow up? And that's what we got. And now here's the thing. Verheiden is a very smart and intelligent writer, and he made the smart choice to eschew a high action follow up to the Aliens franchise. In fact, his big idea to follow up on Aliens was to focus on Hicks and Newt. Just like a guy who had been scarred by the aliens, and a girl who would survive the aliens through more of her associations than anything else. And it's like, and with this the series book one, it's like he showed us what they were going through in order to what they had to survive in order to endure what they had gone through from the original series. Like Hicks had been scarred, like physically, and Newt had been scarred mentally. It's like from these aliens, like from the aliens text. Ripley had been missing, like for reasons that would be explained like later on. Now Verheiden, as he mentions in his introduction to the initial series Outbreak. Okay, but the thing is, like, the reason it's called Outbreak is because after Alien 3 came along and basically revealed that Hicks and Newt hadn't survived Aliens. It's like Dark Horse was kind of like in a quandary. It's like, what happened to our original series, which mostly had Hicks and Newt and Ripley? We'll get back to that in a second. Like as the survivors of the of that movie. It's like Outbreak is what resulted. Outbreak is basically the remastered version of the original Dark Horse miniseries, which replaces like Hicks becomes Wilkes and Newt becomes Billy. Because it's like, hey, it's a way to make these original stories work within the new continuity that Alien 3 had established, for lack of a better term. It didn't work because after the miniseries that followed Outbreak basically established that Ripley was still alive. Whoops! Yeah, it's like is Ripley still alive after she died in Alien 3? It's like, oh, that's not good. That doesn't work, and that's not going to work for like all the nerds who believe that she would live at all. So there you go. But Outbreak still in my mind stands as one of the best like licensed adaptations of an like it's like licensed adaptations of an existing property that we've seen in comics, because it's like because Verheiden like does do a lot of interesting like extrapolations of the alien concept, like from what we've seen in the first two movies, like from showing what would happen if the alien um like found itself like found a way onto Earth, and also just what would happen when the like if the space jockey that was running things, like that we glimpsed in the original Alien, it's like what would happen if he showed up to run things as well. It's like the Verheiden does like some interesting stuff, just like from like from establishing a like an alien cult on it's like on Earth. It's like and then and also giving the alien like subtle telepathic powers as well. And that's it's like I think that actually works. It's like in the sense that it's like it shows you how the alien, even if when confronted with a like a culturally sophisticated like a power to work with, would find a way to like to breed and propagate within that thing, within that like within that culture. It's like the when you've got the like when you've got the like a guy who finds out about the alien, and like is like fascinated by its rebirthic powers, like these like Savage and the Prophet, like in the initial miniseries. It's like it's actually kind of fascinating to see how it turns out, because there are like lots of interesting things about Verheiden's initial like miniseries, like from how he like predicts how the viewing percentages of of television viewing will drop to right from the hundreds of thousands to the tens of thousands to the tens, and will like require like special like special characteristics in order to like keep people like watching these things, including like hey, pictures of the aliens. That's actually really kind of cool. It's like, and also like when you realize that the it's like the crew that Wilkes has recruited, not really recruited, but has been settled with, like to find out more about the aliens on their home planet. That's actually kind of, when you find out like what their real deal is, that's really interesting as well. But but like finding out about the aliens, like like how they're able to employ low level telepathic powers to get humans on board with their like propagation technologies, like in the first volume, that actually like feels kind of believable in the sense that like that it's humans who are susceptible to this stuff. They're able to buy into this alien telepathic probe to to eventually lead to a to to eventually an alien take over the world at the end of the first miniseries. It works really well, and the it's like it's like overall it's like that first miniseries is really compelling in the sense that it lays out the destruction of Earth because of like mankind's like greed and ambition. It's really interesting, and then you get to the second like the subsequent miniseries, and it's there's it's like the diminishing returns right there, and it's all right, but it's like the idea to remaster the series to make these characters Billy and Wilkes of Newton Hicks loses its power when at the end of the second miniseries Ripley shows up, and then it just like all goes to hell. But it's like when I listened to my initial podcast about this about Aliens Omnibus Volume 2, it's like, and I talked about how the it's like the leader, it's like one of the leaders of the like aliens, one of the leaders of humanity who it's like who after like humanity got back on track after the original omnibus, and which was fully written by Mark Verheiden in Volume 2, which is had a couple different writers. And Volume 2, it's like it's like Volume 2 kicked off with genocide and how you had these two like aliens tribes fighting against each other on the aliens' home planet, and how I complained about how you got these different aliens fighting each other, and how these this one corporate overlord back on Earth, like undergoing a drastic change of heart. I honestly have to disagree with my 2008 self. It says like it's like, hey, the fact that it's like this guy, Dr. CEO Grant, decided to have a drastic change of heart, actually kind of works. It's like within the context of the series. I mean, it's like, if there's nothing else, it's actually kind of cool that he decided to like have a have a change of heart and realize that hey, like people, that the average like person is worthy of saving and all. So there you go. So it's like I can understand why I was upset at how my 2008 self was didn't see this change of heart work. But it's like these days is the idea that a corporate person would have a change of heart. It's like actually works pretty well. Also with the other choices, Volume 2, with say with Harvest, it's a decent enough heist story that benefits from art by Kelly Jones. The what is the Colonial Marine stories? I can see why Dark Horse didn't decide to collect it, because of its implications that it's like human alien hybrids just didn't work within the larger Aliens continuity. But with the other Dark Horse Aliens Omnibi, there are some good stories. It's like in here, for stuff like Rogue, like in Volume 2, which posits the implication of a male alien, like alien hybrid to take to the Queen, like superior presence of the series, and that's kind of interesting. Or stuff like Labyrinth, which has a like really creepy positation of what it takes to to achieve like psychic dominance over the aliens. It has some like really good art from like guys like from Killian Plunkett, and it's like and also stuff like let's see, like a Stronghold, which is almost a comedy of errors when it comes to talking about human human cybernetic programming when it comes to talking about what can what can AI do you know, when when it's when it's dedicated to talking about what can what aliens what human god damn it what human programming and precedents can do when I'm telling what it can follow when dictated by by in the fight against aliens and all. Stronghold is kind of like a cognitive error in the sense that like like you can tell like aliens AI what it can do to fight against aliens, but it's also like what can what can it do when forced to when left to its own devices to fight against the aliens themselves. It's the the whole Omnibi series from Dark Horse. It's has been rereading it has been pretty entertaining for like more often than not. But it's I will concede that it's Dark Horse's current approach to dealing with the Aliens franchise has been more interesting. It's just that you give a guy like Brian Wood 2 volumes to deal with aliens Defiance, or it's with James Stokoe in in his Aliens miniseries, or Gabriel Hardman in his own as well. Now, rereading all these stories in the Aliens Omnibi, it's there haven't really been any really bad stories in these 6 volumes, and yeah, there's Dark Horse has posted a lot of fucking alien stories over the years. And like I said, I do think the Dark Horse has really elevated the art of presenting licensed comics. Just giving these licensed titles to talented creators to do their own thing, and that's it's I think if you wanted to pick up any of these Aliens Omnibi, it's you'd be you wouldn't be at a loss for a good read. That being said, the first volume, Aliens Omnibi 1, which consists of the original Mark Verheiden story plus 2 follow-ups, Nightmare Asylum and Female War, those the first volume, Outbreak, really represents the the stuff that you really want to read. That has really meaningful impact on the on, for lack of a better term, the continuity of the series. I mean, no, it's overall, a lot of these alien stories have been very continuity light, which is good. But like I said, if you're gonna want to buy one alien story, it's gonna be that first volume, specifically Aliens Outbreak. The first, the first omnibus has that. If you don't want to buy anything else after that, that's fine. But Outbreak will show you why Verheiden was good enough to work on Battlestar Galactica, and worked not just work, but getting a guest producer credit, and also a couple of writers credits on some of the episodes as well. Like I said, that first volume, and that first story, really tells you why Dark Horse has been granted the license to writing Aliens stories for all these years. And I'll be disappointed if Marvel does get the Aliens license after if Disney's purchase of Fox's media assets does go through. It's because yeah, well, done all right by Star Wars so far. It's like I can't really see them like delivering the same attention to stuff like say Aliens and Predator after that. So there you go. Um, John. So I guess any thoughts on your end about it's like Aliens or like the guy who got to start writing Aliens and went on to write Battlestar Galactica and whatnot.
Oh, I think it's fascinating, but I have, and I like the Aliens universe. It's kind of fun. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of comments on uh, the actual Dark Horse releases that you're speaking of. So, outside of the fact that if you recommend them, are you recommending them, sir?
Yeah, like I said, Dark Horse has put out 6 different Aliens omnibi, and none of them are like after reading, I would say are really bad. But if you're going to buy one of them, buy the first one because it has that first. Like I said, it has for Hedon's like really genre defining story. It's like and it's basically it's like a story that basically like really it's like takes the genre and the franchise in like different in interesting directions more than any of the old ones that follow.
Oops, sorry, I was on mute. But okay, it sounds like that you have that. Oh, cool. Well, I
Volume
think,
1, if nothing else.
yeah. So what do you want to talk about next time?
Okay, so if you're not gonna like click on the next one, I'm gonna say it's time to it's like time to go down strange highways. It's time to be the last in line. It's time to be like check out the rainbow in the dark. It's like or like be the it's like or like time to ride the lightning. Don't be the it's like don't rest in peace. It's time to like be fucking metal because we're gonna talk about it's like DC's metal crossover from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. So raise the horns. It's like and we're gonna like fucking see what's like what's up next time.
All right, we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Click.
Laters.